Greetings, YouTube. The Doctor is in. Dr. Urias Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Dungeons & Dragons. And today on the Doctor Spell Prognosis, we're going to talk about the spell Conjure Woodland Beings. I'm giving this an A-. I so want to give this an A or an A+, almost an S tier. But I'm going to stop short because it is very limited in the number of classes that can use it. But first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you have any questions or comments, please leave a question or comment. All right, so this is a 4th level spell that is only usable by druids or rangers. Now, however, I do understand that there are classes that can take this with like a magical secret, like a bard or things like that. Let's verify that. We're going to look at this druid as well, because this is a specific druid that can use this. But with bards, they get a magical secret. Where is it? Magic Secrets. By 10th level, you have plundered magical knowledge from the blah blah. Choose 2 spells from any class, including this one. Spell you choose must be of a level you can cast, as shown on the bard level. So you can pick the spell up at 10th level, 14th level, or 18th level. You get 2 spells. So there is that. Excuse me. There is that. So a bard could take this. Technically, they could, but it is usable only by druids or wizards down at the bottom. There are sneaky ways of other classes getting it. So that's the main reason why I'm giving it an A-, because your party may not have a druid and may not have a ranger in it. And rangers can't cast this spell until they're like 13th level. So, because they only get 5th level spells, and I don't think they get 4th level spells until 13th level. So your druid is the one that's going to cast it. Okay, so it takes 1 action. Again, we did conjure minor elements or elementals yesterday, and the casting time for that is 1 minute. I don't understand it at all. This one is way more broken than that one. So, it's 1 action, so you can cast this in combat. There's a range of 60 feet, verbal, somatic, and material component, and the material component is 1 holly berry per creature. Who cares? And it has a duration of an hour, and it is concentration. And yes, you do absolutely want to concentrate on this spell. So you summon Fae that appear in an unoccupied space within 60 feet, and you choose one of the following: 1 at a range CR of 2, 2 at a CR of 1, 4 at a CR of half, and 8 at a CR of a quarter. Summon creatures disappear when they go to 0. They're friendly. They roll initiative for the group and have their own turns, and it doesn't require an action for you to tell them what to do, and if you don't tell them what to do, they defend themselves. The GM has the statistics, and they give you some, which I would probably, maybe one of these I would use, but most of these I would not use. But they give you some sample creatures at the bottom, but it's Fae. You summon Fae. So the way I play this in my game is that if a character wants to use this spell, they need to be able to have knowledge of that Fae to be able to summon them. How they get that knowledge, whether they meet them, they've encountered them, they've fought them, they've studied them in the library, it doesn't matter. If they know about it, and I would have them, maybe do a successful nature check or an investigation check or something like that. And once they do it, they know it, and then they can summon them. So let's look. There is a specific class that I do want to address. It's a subclass of druid. It is the Circle of the Shepherd. And the reason I want to look at that is the Circle of the Shepherd gets this Mighty Summoner ability at 6th level. Creatures appear with more hit points than normal, 2 extra hit points per hit die, and the damage from its natural weapons is considered magical for the purposes of overcoming immunity and resistance to non-magical attacks. The biggest one is to get the bump in hit points. This one doesn't really matter as much, but this one applies, this Mighty Summoner applies to Fae. So you can apply this to that. So, because it is a conjure spell. Now, what are the best things? So I've pulled up all the Fae creatures by CR, and I think, yeah, they end here. So Sea Hag is one of the ones they have in here. It's got this horrific appearance. It's a wisdom saving throw of a DC 11 to be frightened, and then it has Death Glare. with a DC of 11, if you can get something to fail that DC 11 and then another DC 11 again after that, good luck. But that's probably not going to happen. But if you do, then they go to 0 hit points. Yay, buddy. We've got the Nereid. And what I'm looking for in these is things that can cast spells. This doesn't cast any spells. We've got the Naiad, which can cast spells, can cast Fly, which is not touch a willing creature. Now, this is a Mythic Odyssey of Theros, but, you know, if you're playing in that, you can do that. Now, it can cast Fly once a day, which means it casts it on a target, which means it can cast on you, and then it can concentrate on Fly. And that's what I'm talking about. Hypnotic Pattern is okay, but it has a DC of 14, which is okay for a Wisdom saving throw. So that's a pretty good creature. The Meanlock's terrible. The Hobgoblin is terrible. And the Hobgoblins are fair game in this, too. The Satyr Reveler does not have spells. Quicklings get evasion, and rolls have disadvantage against them. They make 3 dagger attacks. That's pretty good. The Nilbog is pretty cool. So a creature that attempts to damage Nilbog must first succeed on a Wisdom saving throw or be charmed. And then it has this reversal of fortune. In response to another creature dealing damage to it, it reduces the damage to 0 and regains 3 hit points. That's pretty cool. And then it's got Tasha's Hideous Laughter. It's at a DC of 12, but it is a Charisma saving throw. And it's got a Mocking Ward, which is pretty cool, DC 12. And it's like a Vicious Mockery. That's a pretty cool creature. Dryads. So this is a challenge rating 1. And because it's a challenge rating 1, you can summon 2 of these. Dryad is one of the better ones. Look at this. It's got Entangle. At a DC 14, Entangle is an awesome spell. It's got Goodberry. So you can summon 2 of these, and they can cast Goodberry 3 times a day. It's got Barkskin, which is a touch spell. It's got Pass Without Trace, and we all know how broken that spell is. And it's got Shillelagh, which it can turn a weapon. It doesn't have to turn its weapon. It can turn a weapon. This thing's got so many great spells that it can use, and you summon 2 of them. Now, you can upcast this spell, too, and you summon twice as much junk. So, twice as many at 6th level and 3 times as many at 8th level. So, at 6th level, you can summon 4 Dryads. The Alcaids, again, they've got Cure Wounds, Sleep, Calm Emotions, Lesser Restoration. You can summon 2 of these things because they're challenge rating 1. Plant Growth, we all know how broken Plant Growth is. Do you need a Lesser Restoration? Let's summon 2 of these Alcaids. Do we need Cure Wounds? Let's summon 2 of these guys. You know, do we need to slope things down? Let's summon 2 of these guys. I mean, it's just the possibilities are tremendous. And you're not casting spells. They're casting spells. Now, what about some of these? So a Satyr doesn't really have spells. They've got magic resistance. Darklings don't really have spells, but they have Death Flash, and you can summon 4 of them, 8 of them at 6th level. Boggles are legacy creatures, so they actually took those out completely. I don't know why. Sprite. They have invisibility. And they have this Heart Sight, which is okay. Pixies. Pixies. Look at this. A pixie. It's a quarter. You can summon 8 pixies. This is insane. And it is a DC 12 Confusion once a day. Detect Thoughts. Dispel Magic. Entangle. Fly. Again, it's a touch spell. Polymorph. Look at all the spells these things can cast. And there isn't a different version of the Pixie. So that is a massive one right there. Pixie and Dryad are 2 of the worst ones. Mites, they have a Vexing Presence, which is okay. While 30 feet within a mite, a non-fey creature has disadvantage on dexterity checks and saving throws. Hello, Fireball. Can you say Fireball? You can summon 8 of those. Blink Dogs, they're okay. Let's see. Oh, there's the Boggle. They moved it down to a 8th. They can make oil puddles, all kinds of stuff. So, I mean, you just see that the possibilities are almost infinite with this. All right, that's what I got for everybody today. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will catch everybody later.